All right, so this is my, I think, fourth update, and a lot of progress was made actually. So basically, what happened was the person I've been looking up to as a role model for trading was Stephen Dux. He's an amazing trader, and I actually reached out to him for some questions, and he did respond. I didn't get exactly like the answer I wanted, but it was very cool to for him to reach out to me like that. And all I asked him was basically, I know that he found all of his methods through making various spreadsheets, and that's what I'm doing. So I was like asking him advice on how he made his spreadsheets, how to like optimize everything. He just said stuff about trial and error, and I was like, all right, that's fine. And basically, I've created a lot more spreadsheets. I noticed what I was doing was I was making a lot of spreadsheets for one technique, and the problem with that is that I'm still trying to find my edge in the market. And when you find your edge, you want to stick to that. So, but I don't want to spend so much time on one strategy and end up not having an edge on that and then having to move on, and all that time was wasted. So, I'm going to be making use of a lot of strategies. So, the most common day trading strategy we see today is the pre-market gap up, and I've actually made I've made a spreadsheet for that too, which I'll be tracking. I'll show you all the spreadsheets afterwards. Um, but basically, I'm gonna be tracking that, and then I have my own journal, and I'm surprised to see that in my past trades since I started tracking them. Basically, I took a big loss before, and it was around $700, and since then I've been trading a lot more cautiously, and I'm surprised to have a 70% win rate with my wins being my ratio is a lot higher than my losses, which is pretty cool. I'll go into all of that later, but that's pretty much it. I hope I can find. So the thing about gappers is that the potential to make money every day is a lot higher. But for me right now, I feel very comfortable swing trading, and I feel like I'm getting an edge on how to swing trade, and I feel like I can almost consistently profit off of that. But let's go into the spreadsheet. All right, so let's start off with my trading journal. It's a pretty simple journal. So we have my tickers all the way on the left, my entry price, how much equity I put into it, the amount of shares, my strategy. I have basically these ones were inverse ETFs that I was trading, getting. I found a little bit of success, but not too much. And then so I used UPRO, which is a ETF of the S&P 500. So that was just a market directional. I saw S&P going up, so I tripled profits using UPRO. And then this last one, basically I'm currently in two more swing positions, and I took three swing positions at once. I already left the first one, and I cut my profits. As you can see, only a minus 0.3% profit, 14 cents, which is very good, cutting my losses. And then the two other swing trades are pretty green. I've made about 2.5% profit on either of them. But as you can see here, I've hit. I think there's a total of 14, and I've hit. No, sorry, 13 trades here total, and I've hit 9 of them, which is around like a 70% win rate, which is pretty good. And as you can see, my only big loss I've had was at the beginning, which is 3%. Other than that, all my losses have been less than 1%, and all my gains have been 4%, 8%, 2%, 5%, all of that. So that's pretty good. Hopefully I can stay consistent with that. Let's move up to the next one. I just started this one today, which is the gap up one. So today we found 3 gap ups. So basically I have obviously my gap up percentage, the initial direction as market opened, how many candles on the 5 minute that the initial direction held, the short interest, average volume, then the current volume, market cap, and the strength of the news. I've noticed that a lot of news can influence the price of the thing, but if the news isn't good, it's gonna correct itself. So for these top two, there were good earnings reports, which were like above expected. So that is pretty good news. I didn't see any news for RHE, so but RHE ended up going minus 35% on the day, and the only one that went up was ZIXI. So I'm gonna kind of try to figure out why that was. And we saw a lot of consolidation. We didn't see any big moves today, so I'm hoping to find more big moves tomorrow or when the market opens. That's pretty much it. And then what's our last one? So this is the most successful one right now. So basically I have 3 sheets. So the first one is RSI's This whole scanner is scanning for stocks that have crossed above the 40 on the RSI, which means they're just like they've crossed from oversold, so they're going up from oversold. So this means that they're gonna start picking up momentum. So there's three sheets. First one is, as you can see, 3 cents to $10. The second one is $10 to $50, and the last one is $50 to $100. So as you can see, it's been going pretty well. I've been trying to notice patterns. A quite common pattern that I've seen. Here, let me actually show you. So we see, I'll pull up LEG. So if we look at LEG, what we see a lot of times is we see these earnings come in right here, and we see a drop in earnings, and I've noticed that right after the drop, the price will slowly recover, and I've seen this time and time again. So this could be a viable strategy. As you can see, this recovery was a pretty significant amount, which is pretty cool, and I'm going to continue to try to track this, but that's a pretty cool strategy that I found on my own. We'll see how viable it is. But going back to where is it? Yeah, so going back to this one, as of now, all of these ones that I've done for the 10 to 50 have been green, and we've had 3 out of 4 we've had 3 green and 1 red. So out of most of these, it's going pretty well. The only problem I saw, this was a pretty big loss, but then again, this is me kind of full trading, so this is a problem. I need to learn how to cut my losses. The good thing about this minus 9% trade was that I knew what went wrong, and I know not to do that in the future. But other than that, I think all the other losses have been minimized, and I'm enjoying the wins on all of these. And I'm hoping this will be a viable strategy, so I can put part of my portfolio into this strategy every day. But we're going to continue to do that. That's pretty much it. It's pretty much a longer video today, but I was trying to go through all my spreadsheets. That's pretty much it, and I guess I'll update when something else significant happens.